What is your first Manchester United memory?
Obviously, as I said always, I think probably the biggest memory I have is the final in Moscow.
Kicked it towards Ronaldo! Manchester United strike first! Anelka. Van der Sar saved it! United again!
You know, like as a young fan, I was still at the time, I think 12 years old probably.
Manchester United have secured the signing of Bruno Fernandes from Portuguese side Sporting.
There's something that makes Bruno Fernandes special and different.
What is the one quality this club has that you most connect to?
I think the desire to win, the passion for the club, the success has been always come from players that always had the desire to do more. That's the history of the club: resilience, hard work, pride of represent the club.
It was my dream, you know, come to the Premier League. For me, it's the biggest league in the world.
When he first came to Manchester United, when they were in a little difficult spell, they desperately needed him, and you could argue he was one of the best. Had one of the best initial impacts of any player.
Another game where he stepped up for the team. How good is the example that he sets?
But he's always there, and the guy that can play one game and then suddenly he will be ready to play in the different position. He can set pieces, he can score penalties with a high pressure. He can make transitions in the last 15 minutes of the game with a lot of games, so it's perfect for us, and we need to help him to win titles. Because
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the fakeness.
At your best, what's the first thing you always bring?
I'll always show up.
Energy.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
He's a guy who will take over here.
Everything I do,
This
so
man
instinctive
has
and
the stuff to do.
sagacity. Every word I move, so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're to the side here. Given away by Quanta. Hit by Fernandes! Oh, goodness. What about it?
I'm not satisfied with individual performance or trophies. I want to get more than that because I'm part of a football club. I want to be successful with the club.
Manchester United have their man, the latest big money acquisition charged with guiding the club back into the upper echelons.
We have to be, because we play for a club that deserves that. We have to play to the standards, as Sir Alex said. We have to play at the standards of this club. But I think the standards of the club show that the passion, the desire, the work rate, the fighting spirit for this club, it's so much important.
Bruno Fernandes!
some mistakes, but the character that he has, the availability in this league is so important and is so decisive with the ball and without the ball.
The guy who's a number 10 with the personality of a number 6. Goes back to Sporting, player of the year, twice, moves for a ton of money to Manchester United, hits the ground running. This is a guy who has an appetite. He's the warrior 10, which is not something you often see. So it's an unusual career path that he took.
You've had some vocal critics in the last couple of weeks. How much does that hurt you, or does it motivate you?
Obviously, I know you're talking about Roy Keane.
Righty.
No. If you're going to dig someone out,
I've had enough of that rubbish, man.
You should say, if he wasn't there, where you'd be.
But you have to have a starting point.
Bruno's
talent is not enough. You keep going back to the talent. The talent. Bruno's a talented player, but talent's not enough.
Talk about Bruno, and I said,
talent is not enough.
A player that genuinely cares.